I've been selling on Amazon for almost 2 years now, and until the last 2 months, I have predominantly done about 90% retail arbitrage and a little bit of online arbitrage. And I have recently swapped that entirely to put all my eggs essentially in the online arbitrage basket. At the end of this video, I'll explain why I did that, but what I want to do, and I think is going to provide value, is I've came up with 11 things that I've observed and jotted down from my experience doing OA predominantly for the last 2 months. So in no particular order, let's dive in. First up, my favorite form of online sourcing has been reverse sourcing. And basically what that means is that I filter out other competitive Amazon sellers, ones that catch my eye and I know what to look for. I then go to their storefront and go through every single product that they're selling on Amazon. And from there, instead of now starting blindly into the stratosphere of the internet, I have a bunch of products that I can look up through Google and see if I can find them at the right price point, if in fact they are selling well and will make me money. And this leads you down other rabbit holes and nooks and crannies to categories and sites and products, and is a great way to start out if you're new to online arbitrage. Number 2, Rakuten and other free Chrome extensions that give you cash back are an absolute must for online arbitrage, okay? For anybody not familiar, extensions like Rakuten have relationships with online retailers. And basically the retailers say to Rakuten, hey, if you drive traffic to our site and they make a sale, we'll give you a percentage of the sale. Rakuten is smart and says, hey, we'll give a percentage of our cut to the customers to incentivize them to use us. Number 3, you have to manufacture margin, okay? Using that term again, you manufacture margin. What do I mean by that? There's a lot of times that you will find good products to sell, okay? They're selling a lot, you can't quite get it at the price point, the sticker price point that's gonna make sense for you. You need it to be 5 or 10 or 15 bucks cheaper. So you have to get creative. You have to use things like Rakuten. You have to find good cashback credit cards. You have to sign up to certain sites, email lists, so you get in the know emails about when they're having specialty sales, or you get familiar with the sites and when they have higher discounts, what days of the week, and stuff of that nature. What I mean is you got to get scrappy and find ways to shave off a couple bucks in a variety of ways so that when you find good products to sell, even if you don't think the price point is there, you find ways to get creative and manufacture margin. This is a huge part of online arbitrage and gives you a major leg up. Alrighty, so number 4 and number 5 go hand in hand. And first off, it is number 4, expect a lower return on investment when it comes to online arbitrage relative to retail arbitrage, okay? When I do retail arbitrage, I strive for 100% ROI. So that means if I spend $10, I make $10 profit. That's always been my goal. Now doing online arbitrage, I'm happy at 50% return on investment. So that means I would have to spend double the amount of money to reach the same profit level. And that leads me to number 5, is that it takes more capital to realize the same profit it does with retail arbitrage. Now, I don't care because I'm more concerned about my bottom line profit. You have the power of the internet and you're competing with the globe. And so it only makes sense that you're not gonna get the same type of return on investment as when you do retail arbitrage and you go to a store and there's a whole clearance aisle of things specific to just this store or only found in this region. You have the whole competition of the world. But the scalability of online arbitrage to me is worth it. If you have the capital, your bottom line will go up, but so will the amount it takes to get there. Number 6, it gets boring. Okay, I'm not complaining. I get to do this from anywhere essentially, and I am so grateful that I have found Amazon and online arbitrage. But if you're somebody that's an extrovert like myself and like getting out of the house, you have to find ways that work with your attention span or else you'll go crazy. And also, the fact of the matter is you could essentially work forever. So you have to have some form of limitations. I don't love being in front of a computer all day, so it does get boring for me relative to retail arbitrage, and that's another reason why I think I'll always incorporate both. Alrighty, number 7, it is critical to keep track of your purchases. And I don't just mean to reconcile for when they get delivered to your home. That is important, although I'll be honest, I don't have a perfect solution for that. I more mean, especially with online arbitrage, I think there's so much more replenishable potential. I have an Excel sheet. I write what store I bought it from or what stores, if I bought it with a set sale going on or a discount, how much I paid, how much I sold it for, how many projected sales there are of that item every month, all of the information in a nice Excel sheet. So for one, when the product arrives and I go to prep it, I can look at the ASIN and make sure I'm entering the right product instead of playing a guessing game. And also when I go to reorder the product, I know exactly where I bought it from, at what price, and I can review if it worked for me, add notes to it, etc. Keep track of your products. Number 8, there are online stores and retailers that you buy from, and you can tell they have distribution hubs, and you basically get your products all at once. Now, it might be 1 box, 2 box, 3, depending on your size, but they're all shipped at the same time from the same place. There's other department stores I've come across, like Bed Bath & Beyond or Belk, and I noticed that what they probably do is send these items from individual stores. So you'll get one day, 2 another day, 3 another day. And time is of the essence for a lot of products. So basically these products are coming in, you're putting them aside, especially if they're multi-packs or variety packs. And to me, it's not even really worth it anymore dealing with them. So just know, you'll kind of test the waters and figure it out. But department stores and places that stagger the shipments from all over their locations, it's taken me weeks or even like a month to complete some large orders before I learned this. So moving forward, I'm going to avoid those, and you'll see what I mean if you're new to this. Alrighty, next up, number 9, get familiar with stores and what limits they will flag you at. So what I mean by that is that if you go on a store and you spend $1,000 today and $1,000 tomorrow, there's a good chance they're going to flag you and say, hey, are you here for reselling? You have to open a wholesale account, or we're going to cancel your order. And this has happened to me so many countless times, and it's just part of the game. It's not a big deal. But in general, I kind of find that stores either have like a $500 threshold where there's a red flag, a $1,000 threshold, or a combination of several large orders on back-to-back days or multiple large orders in the same day. So what I would say, if time isn't truly of the essence to you, if you don't have to get it all in 1 or 2 days, spread it out. You have to portray yourself as a non-reseller to a lot of these stores, or you have to know what their limits are to avoid those red flags in general. Number 10, I kind of mentioned this earlier. I'm sure there's ways to be better about this, but when you order things online through online arbitrage at scale, it's virtually impossible, at least where I stand right now, to be able to reconcile everything you've ordered and everything that's been delivered. I feel like there's just this trust that in modern day shipping, you're gonna get it all. But I'll be honest, I don't know the best way to check because I order so many things from so many different places. So just know, A, if that bothers you, be on top of it, find out a system, or B, be like me and just let go and let the universe play itself out, which is not what I would suggest, but I don't have a great solution at this time. But at least I want to acknowledge that I understand. I'm just kind of like, all right, well, hopefully it all comes. And lastly, I want to end by saying number 12, there really is endless opportunity with online arbitrage. There are so many products that are profitable sell on Amazon, and every new day I'm learning new products. I'm looking at new sellers' storefronts. I'm going down different rabbit holes I didn't even fathom. It really comes down to 2 things, capital and time, and that's really it. If you have both of those things, and just hypothetically infinite amount, or even 24 hours a day, and you have a bottomless capital bankroll, there's not enough products in the world that you couldn't buy to sell on Amazon. I don't even think any of us can fathom how big Amazon is, myself included, and I grasp it's really, really big. All right, so I just want to reemphasize, you're only limited by capital and time, and that's why I always preach take action. Earlier in the video, I mentioned I would share why I've decided to transition so heavily from retail arbitrage, which is basically all I've done for the majority of my 2 years, to almost all online arbitrage. And it really boils down to a few things, but specifically scalability, okay? Because I don't have a small set budget, I have a lot of capital that I'm willing to spend, and you get capped out with retail arbitrage. With online arbitrage, yes, you might have to spend more because your profit margin goes down, your return on investment goes down percentage-wise, but the bottom line profit potential far exceeds RA all day long. You're not limited to a geography. You're not limited to hours of a store. You're not limited that you can only be in so many stores at once, right? You have them all at the click of a button. And I hope to have a prep center in the very near future so I'm never touching the product and can truly do this from anywhere in the world. That will never be an option with retail arbitrage because you always have to touch the product. So that's the gist of it. I just wanted to share my thoughts and general notes to provide value, being that I've done online arbitrage for about 2 months solely now, and I'm gonna continue trending in that direction. I'm Jonathan, Duke does Amazon. We're on Instagram as well. Questions, comments, topics you wanna see, put them below. Thanks for being here, and I will see you guys really soon.